Hey everybody, it's Eric from Support Adventure, and in this video I'm going to talk about Mexico. Specifically, is Mexico a great destination for first-time digital nomads in the year 2022? It's currently 2021, November. We got a couple months left of this year, but I'm pretty sure that this information will be valid for the coming year. So let's jump into it. First of all, basically, Mexico is one of the places which I would recommend digital nomads go first. If you're from the English-speaking world, you'll find lots of stuff is familiar here, especially Mexican food if you've had that abroad. And it's pretty easy to just come over here and start rocking it. So basically, the first thing you should look at is distance. How hard is it to get to Mexico? When I came here a couple of weeks ago, I was coming from Serbia in Europe, and it was just a 1 hour flight to Frankfurt, and then an 11-hour flight from Frankfurt to Cancun, and then a 1 hour bus from Cancun to Playa del Carmen, which was my first stop along the trip. I'm now settled down in Tulum, Mexico, and I've got a great Airbnb here, and I'm rocking the remote working. But it's even easier if you're coming from Canada or the US or somewhere else like that. It's just like a flight from Toronto's like 4 hour flight. That's my hometown, and places in the US are even closer. So in terms of distance and ease of accessibility from North America, Mexico is the easiest digital nomad destination, low-cost digital nomad destination that you can reach, definitely. So, and same with the time zones. I mean, from Europe, it's also, it's further. And also from Europe, it's a 6 or 7 hour time difference from Central European time. From the UK, that would be 5 or 6 hours. And from North America, most of Mexico goes between Central and Eastern time, basically, or just plain old Central time. So you're in the center of the US time zones, easy to talk to people in the European time zones as well, because you've got that 5 or 6 hours, so you catch the end of their business day. So if you want to work with the US and Europe, it's possible to do it from Mexico. But if you had a day job that was on London time, for example, that would be kind of awkward, because here in Playa del Carmen, you'd be waking up at like 4 in the morning or something to start your London UK shift. So that might not be optimal, but if you have an American shift, Mexico or all of Latin America is pretty ideal for working time zones. If you don't, if you're not somebody who works on the clock, if you're looking for, a job that allows you to work when you want, then this is also a good time zone. If you have to collaborate with people in Europe, with North America, as I said, it's very good. But being someone who's usually based in Europe and focused around European business hours and also accommodating American business hours, I kind of got like a rhythm going where I would work until 8 p.m. in Europe. And guess what? That's 2 p.m. here. So finishing all my stuff around 2 p.m. has been a pretty good thing. And I'm pretty happy with it. And it gave me a lot more life in the evening to explore myself and nightlife and all that sort of stuff. Although you do have to wake up and start working early in the morning. If you have people sending you emails from Europe, you will wake up with an inbox full of emails, which can be good because you spend less time in total going through all those emails. You get a block of them in the morning and that's it. Go through them, reply to everyone, that's it. But at the same time, it can be like you open your computer in the morning and there's just tons of stuff in there. But yeah, if you're working American business hours, this is the place to be if you want a normal sort of work in the day, relax in the evening sort of existence. Weather, yeah. I think that Mexico has a lot going in terms of weather. Warm weather. Where I'm on, the Yucatan Caribbean part of Mexico right now, is perfect. It's November. December is perfect as well. Not too hot, not too cool. We got a little cool breeze, 25, 26 in the mornings, going up to 29 Celsius in the afternoons. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit because I grew up in Canada with Celsius, but you can, convert on a website what the weather is like. It's nice summer weather here in the winter, North America. One of the reasons why I really hate being in North America or Europe this time of year in November till April, basically, or October till April. So half the year basically is because, well, especially in November, the days are getting colder and shorter. It's getting dark and cold, folks, where since I got to Mexico 2 weeks ago, I didn't really have that problem. It's been sunny, nice. And I just feel so good with my shorts and my sandals, just walking around, enjoying being outside, which I can no longer do at this time of year in Europe the same way. You can enjoy being outside, but you're wearing lots of clothing, jacket, and stuff like that. And you're not sitting on that many patios, let's face it. So weather, Mexico gets great points for that. But basically, also, I would say that other parts of Mexico are a little bit cooler during these months, where in the morning it could be, as cold as 9 degrees or something like that. But then it shoots up and gets warm during the daytime. So I don't know, do the research on your destination. Caribbean is definitely a win for this time of year. Playa del Carmen, Tulum, where I am right now. Yeah, you guys figure it out. Visa regulations. This is one place where Mexico shines. Mexico is actually one of the countries that gives you 180 days stamped in upon arrival. There have been some stories on expat Facebook groups about them getting less time, and what that's all about. We haven't figured it out yet, but Mexico is very tolerant for people from Europe and North America coming to live in their country and spend a bunch of time. Some countries require visas. Fairly easy to get, I think. And basically, visa regulations here are a big plus because you don't really have to worry about it. Also, taxation and stuff like that. I haven't heard any horrible stories about any taxation or work permits for being remote workers. I haven't really heard that many stories about the Mexican government coming in and trying to tax or bust people for working online for, stays of less than 6 months. So yeah, very easy, just come to Mexico. In terms of COVID regulations, well, nothing. No test, no quarantine as of November 2021. Really, one of the few countries that hasn't required a PCR test, an antigen test, quarantine, this, that, this certificate, vaccination, whatever it is, they don't require it here. You can just come in the country. There is some stuff, going in the supermarket, they will want to squirt you with some hand sanitizer and make sure you're wearing a mask and stuff like that. Maybe check your temperature. And it's basically just people doing their jobs, keeping people safe. I don't mind it. Some people might take offense to that, but people here really don't care. You can just go in restaurants, sit in restaurants, enjoy your life. COVID regulations are almost not a thing here. Just a few little cursory sort of things like the mask wearing in supermarkets and places and stuff like that, which doesn't bother me, but it bothers some people. And some people might actually feel that there should be more regulation and that it's not safe to be here. I don't know. Look at the numbers, make your own decision. I'm happy to be here, and I feel like it's a good place to be during the COVID era. Internet in Mexico. First of all, you should actually, as soon as you go to a OXXO store, which is a convenience store like 7-Eleven, but not 7-Eleven. And you can go there and you can get a Telcel SIM card on 4G. And I think I paid about 500 pesos, so about $25 for 6 gigs of data. Not the cheapest deal in the world, but it was easy to just go to this convenience store, point at the package I wanted on the pamphlet they had there, and they hooked it up, activated the package. I put the SIM card in my phone, and wham, it worked with 4G. That works fine on a mobile hotspot. I found that the internet in the accommodation, like the 4G here is good in the Tulum town, Tulum Beach. It doesn't work barely at all. And, the internet in Mexico can be a varied experience. Right now in this Airbnb where I'm staying right now, it's got a really good sort of like fiber connection that gives me like 80 megabits up and down or something like that. You need to do your research. Definitely look at the Airbnb reviews, what other guests said about the internet, if they have fiber, if it's some other technology, and definitely get a backup internet package that you can have on your phone and hotspot from your phone. Familiarize yourself with how to top up online and activate the packages for more data, because you're going to need it. Because internet in Mexico, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10. So always have backup and always do your research on whatever place you're going to be staying. How have other people experienced the internet there? Right. The big one, cost of living. Mexico is not the cheapest place where you can go as a digital nomad. And it's not the cheapest place in Latin America. In fact, it's more expensive than most. It's more expensive than places like Colombia, Argentina, Brazil, you name it. Do your research on this, because there is a lot of gringo pricing. There are a lot of gringo places that cater to a gringo crowd of people who are making American level wages and come here and don't have problems with paying, I don't know, like what's an example? $5 for a bottle of kombucha, $12 for a salad, and all of this gringo stuff. I'm into it. I don't mind paying a little bit more for high quality. If you want to live on the cheap and live like Mexican people live in these Mexican style accommodations where normal people live, and you know how to like negotiate in Spanish and all that sort of stuff, and you're eating from the taco truck for like 5 tacos for 50 pesos or something like that, then it can be quite cheap. But if you want to live a life comparable to what your life is like in North America on a short-term basis as a digital nomad, you can expect that the things will be priced in a way that's slightly similar to what you will pay in North America, with some deals here and there. But yeah, if you want to go to the same type of healthy food cafes that you would in California and live in the same type of accommodation that you would in California, you won't be saving a huge amount of money compared to other destinations like, Colombia and other places in Asia, other places in Eastern Europe, offer much better value than Mexico. So keep that in mind. It's not the cheapest. Yeah, it's not the cheapest. Now let's get to quality of life, because this is something that a lot of the time people misunderstand about being a digital nomad. What a lesser developed country means is not that there's less quality of life. It means that there's a greater range of quality of life. As I said, there's lots of stuff here for us gringos, and we are able to actually, enjoy a similar standard of stuff in some places. Does that mean that everybody here has that? Absolutely not. Lots of people here are living a completely different life than we will want to live while we're here. But the quality of life that you want is likely here in Mexico to be available. And yeah. And one big thing about quality of life that people want to talk about is safety. And this is where Mexico, I think, has a disadvantage compared to Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, maybe a bit of an advantage over South Africa, for example. But it is in the area of places that I consider slightly more dangerous in terms of, safety from scams. First of all, you could get scammed here. People will try to shortchange you in the convenience stores if you're not watching the amount of money you're supposed to receive back. Also, yeah, I'm here in Tulum, and some tourists recently got gunned down by cartel violence with assault rifles and stuff like that. And, it's a really isolated incident, and the police have done everything to basically militarize the city so it doesn't happen again. And well, there's a heavy police presence with some big weaponry on the streets now, and so it should be safer. But I don't know, Mexico is not one of the safest places. You have to watch what's going on around you. You need to watch that you're not being scammed, that people aren't trying to pickpocket you. Just watch yourself in this country. You'll probably be fine, but there's lots of stories of people who have not been fine. And also there's lots of stories about people getting hit up by the police for money as well. So keep that in mind too. Police might not always be your friends. Food quality. This is another place where Mexico has a bit of a disadvantage, in my opinion, compared to Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe, for example. Definitely Southern Europe, Portugal, Southern Europe, and countries like Serbia, which are between Southern and Eastern Europe, have great food. Places in Asia have great food. And you might say, hey, Eric, what about Mexico? Mexican food is great. I would agree that the cuisine is very tasty. I love my, hot sauce from Mexico, and, all the sort of Mexican flavors and stuff like that. However, I would say that the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the produce is not as good. Not as good as Southeast Asia or in Europe, most countries in Europe. And this is one big disadvantage for me living here. I feel when I buy food in Europe or Asia, I'm getting a much higher quality, much less pesticides, fertilizers, GMOs, and all that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, and it's hard to find organic stuff here in Mexico, I found, at least where I've been in Mexico, in Tulum, Playa del Carmen. It's hard to find high quality organic vegetables. It's just not really much of a thing here. So that's a definite disadvantage. Also, noise. Another disadvantage of being in Mexico, quality of life really affects me. This Airbnb I have right now is very nice. However, on pretty much all sides of the Airbnb, there are barking dogs that bark whenever they want. And sometimes I'm hearing barking dogs from like three different sizes of dogs from three different sides, you know, big dog, woof, 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 and little dogs like, they like their little dogs here that like to make all this noise. And it's quite overwhelming. Also construction. If you're in a neighborhood that has like lots of new nice apartments, chances are the lot next to you will be being built up with new nice apartments, and you'll from like 8 in the morning you'll hear you know, it'll sound like a war zone basically during the daytime. And yeah, so that's a disadvantage. You know, lots of barking dogs, motorbikes, people trying to sell stuff while riding a motorbike down the street, and I go, mango, papaya, no, 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 no. It's a constant fiesta. Trucks that announce various things from megaphones from their roof. I don't know. There's lots of noise here in Mexico, and that can be a serious quality of life issue. It's not as big of a problem as it was in Vietnam, because in Vietnam it's just like endless motorbikes passing all the time. Only Hoi An and Da Nang was the places, those were the places in Vietnam where I did not have that issue, but in the big cities it was a constant issue. But even in the smallest of towns of Mexico, there's going to be lots of noise in these authentic Mexican neighborhoods. If you stay in like a gringo sort of condo neighborhood, yeah, there might be lots of construction, but then ultimately you could find a place that's more quiet. But natural, real, authentic Mexican neighborhoods are noisy places with noisy dogs and noisy people and noisy motorbikes, and that's a disadvantage. All right, I covered some negatives there. Let's go back to the positives. So culture. Culture in Mexico is a really beautiful thing. People are friendly, warm, open, and you know, culture is just something that, I don't know, people are just friendly here, and it's nice. It's a good vibe. They don't mind foreigners. Yeah, they might try to take advantage of you somehow, but overall it's a live and let live sort of culture where you can be yourself and do your own thing, and be a gringo, try to fit in with locals, whatever you want. Nobody's giving you the evil eye. Everybody, you know, is just enjoying their lives, and you can be a part of that. And I feel like it's a good place, like culturally, as a digital nomad, to come and basically just be. So yeah, it's very accessible as well in terms of the culture. You know, the Spanish language, yeah, is very easy to learn. Vocabulary, there's lots of mutual words between English and Spanish, for example, and other European languages that are taking words from the Latin roots of European language. And basically, people here are not really judgmental if your Spanish is bad, but you're trying to communicate. Like some places you might have visited, France, might have been super judgmental. Here, Spanish is, you know, it's something, it's easy to pick up. It's easy to practice with locals. It's communication can occur. You might understand, just being a native English speaker, some things that they're saying to you because the words are very similar. Definitely you'll understand a lot that's actually written around you. It's all in the Latin script, and people have a great attitude towards sharing their language and culture. So Mexico, a great place for digital nomads, plug and play, a little more expensive than a lot of places you could go. The internet a little bit less reliable than places you could go, a little bit noisier, less safe than places you could go, but it's in a good time zone. It's really accessible. It's easy to come here and stay as a digital nomad with minimal bureaucracy, and the people are lovely and welcoming. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Support Adventure. If you're an IT technician and you want a job you can work remotely, we are the company that will find you that. Just apply on our website. And if you like content like this about the digital nomad lifestyle around the world, please subscribe to our channel. Support Adventure, support your adventure. And we are here to support you on your adventure too. So I'll catch you later. Bye now.